Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and welcome. And this is I'm going to call it my primitive animal series. So today I want to show you guys how I'm going to make this cute little pig, and I named him Pig. So I will be having patterns for all my little animals in the description box below, but I want to get through all the videos that I want to make of these first, and then you guys can refer back to the videos to see exactly how to make all the cute little primitive animals that I'm going to show you guys how to do. And it'll just be on like a printable, and I'll have it in my Etsy shop, and I'll make sure the link's down below. So make sure you subscribe and like this video, and then you guys can definitely keep referring back and seeing when the patterns down below it, because these are just so much fun. It's just so much fun to make, and I'm still in the process of making them all and getting the pattern ready and stuff. So I'll make sure in my community tabs to let you guys know when the pattern's ready and in my Etsy shop and stuff. So just subscribe, and then you'll be able to see it when I post that. So I'm going to show you how to make pig today. Now, if you guys have not been caught up with my Junky Grungy Grammy series, I'll make sure to put that playlist on the end screen so you can come check out this series. As of now, Ruthie is in my Etsy shop. So, and I always try to keep up with the links down below to make sure that you guys aren't just clicking on a link and it's sold out. So I try to keep up with it, but they're selling pretty fast. And I really do appreciate you guys purchasing and commenting and all. I just overwhelmed, and I really, really want to thank everybody for participating and all that stuff. I mean, you guys are amazing. I really love that you guys are loving this as much as I do. So I do have a pattern in my Etsy shop on how to make these ladies, and the link will be down below for the pattern, so you guys can come check it out. So this is Charlotte, and you can see she's a work in progress, and this is going to be her little pig here, and I'll finish her up today as of the day of this video getting done, and I'll make sure the link is down below for her. So make sure to come check them out. Let's put them over to the side here. So now I'm going to show you guys some stuff that you will need. So you do need a pig pattern. And like I said, I'm working on that, but you can draw up your own little pig pattern. So I just did it on deli paper and drew out a pattern. So we'll look at that in a minute. So I got that, twine, some coffee dyed, just fabric here, different fabrics. This is the one I'm going to draw the pattern on. So this is just a piece of cotton, and this is some cotton, coffee dyed. So just some little things that you want to put on your pig. Also, I forgot for the star, the little star here, I'll show you. On his bottom, little star. Just whatever you have, I mean, works great. Like even this little plaid, I think would be really cute. This is just my little scrap bin here of all the stuff that I have. But I did do, you know what, this one might be cute. Maybe we'll do that. I like the sunflower. I think that's fun. So we'll do that for the star. I just have a little blush for his little cheekies. Here, I'll put it here. For his little cheeks, and just a little Q-tip. Just any kind of bronzer, blush, anything like that. I'll put that to the side. Fabric scissors, a pen. I just use a gel pen, just whatever pen you have to trace the pattern, because it doesn't matter, it'll be on the inside. And I got just some straight pins here, and a needle with embroidery floss, and I just do 2 strands of black, and just whatever needle you have. The best thing I found to flip all this stuff, like especially the doll legs and arms and stuff like that, is these turners, the fabric turners. They're so great. I just keep them in an olive jar. I just have them in an olive jar, but it's a perfect jar for them. And this is what it looks like. And I have it in my Amazon links below. And make sure to come check it out. They're great and reasonably priced, really, for using them as much as I do. So that's what I have here. I have some polyfill to stuff the little guy. And then what I have here is it's a coffee solution. It's my primitive grungy solution is what I call it. And I have a video on detailed on how I measure it out and add it to my jar here. So I'll make sure to put that on the end screen and you guys can come check it out. So I have that, a paper towel just in case I make a mess, and an old just paintbrush, just whatever paintbrush you got. So let's get started. I think that's everything. If I have any more stuff, I'll just throw it in as we go. So let's get started with the pattern. We're just going to get the pattern out. Let's start with the pig here. I got my overhead fan on, my ceiling fan, because it's a hot day here in Oregon. So you could probably see some of the reflections like in the bag and stuff of the fan. So I apologize for that. And it blows around my little pattern here. So I have to chase it. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. I need this. So we're just going to start off with just whatever it doesn't have to be coffee dyed fabric. It's just what happens what I have, because I'm gonna do it with the solution anyway and paint it to make it all grungy like this. So whatever fabric you have, cotton I like to use because it absorbs really nice. Okay, so I'm just going to trace this out and get started here. So as I'm pinning, I just look around and make sure I have at least like an eighth of an inch seam allowance at the least, maybe a quarter of an inch. Because when you cut it out, you want to at least have that around it. Okay. So now I'm going to take the ear. And you can see I folded the fabric in half here, because you're going to need 2 of each. And same with the ears. So we're going to need it folded in half, so double it up and do 2 sets here. Now, if you don't have a small enough pen or anything, I just kind of hold it with my finger as I trace around it. And these are meant to be not perfect and wonky and just whimsical. So you don't really need to stress out about having it perfect when you're tracing it, because this is meant to be fun, you know? I don't believe in stuff that you have to just stress out about, or why do it, you know? It's just meant to be just fun and something that you want to do and enjoy doing. So just do a little quick trace here. There we go. Easy as that. Here, I'm just going to pin this so it doesn't move on us. Let's go ahead and do the star. I think that's fun. Fabric here. I am going to take these over to my sewing machine and stitch around them. And the best way to do that is I wouldn't cut it out yet until after you stitch it. That's a little tip and trick there, because it would just be impossible to sew around these tiny little things. So I take it all over just like this. I do my stitch length. I move it down to like about a 1, the stitch length, just because it helps to go around little curves and corners and stuff like that. And I do have a detailed video on and I'll put it on the end screen, and it's in my Junky Grungy Grammy series, and I show you guys how to sew around little curves like the arms and the legs. So I do have a detailed video at my sewing machine showing you guys how to do that. So if you want to know how I do it and see it visually, just go ahead and go check that out. And it's titled how I sew around tiny little curves. So you guys can go check that out. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and sew around everything. And I'm going to leave an opening from here to here so we can stuff. I don't stuff the ears, as you can see. They just get sewn around it, and I like just the black sewing. And you can hand stitch around it if you want that look too. And I'm not going to leave an opening on this either. Oh, actually, you know what? Now that I just realized that, you guys, we do have to do it on the other side. I just realized that. So I'm glad that I talked it through, right? So, because we're not going to flip it, this is what we need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and trace it again, and I'm going to trace it on top of it. And as you can see here, we fray it and sew over it anyway. So, but I just kind of like the freedom of just using a pen and just doing it this way. And then it just kind of covers up itself. Plus, we're going to grunge it up too. So sorry about that, guys. So you do have to do it on the front part here because we are not going to flip it. There we go. And I really like the sunflower like that. Okay, so we corrected that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just take it over to my sewing machine and get it all stitched up. So another thing I forgot to mention is a hemostat, and this thing is great for stuffing. It helps it so you can clamp onto it and get it up into the small crevices, and it stays in place. So it's really nice. So I'll make sure that's in my links below also. And we will also be using some Fabrifix glue. So those are the other things that I forgot to mention. Okay, so I got everything. I got this turned. Did my little flippers here, and I just stuck it in there, popped it through, and then just kind of worked it around. Got it turned. And the knees I just frayed with my fingers. Just did that so they look all a little grungy. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start stuffing the pig. I'm just going to do a whip stitch, sew it up. And I'm not really even concerned if the raw edges are sticking out because this is primitive and whimsical. So you don't need to stress and finagle with that too much. I just kind of just sew it up. It turned out really cute. And then we have this to hide a little bit of it. So just however you got to stitch it up. Okay, so we got that done. Now what I'm going to do is just poke right through here, go all the way back to where the tail will be. Just however you want to line up your tail. And then I'm just going to down. And I'll leave about that much. And just keep doing that as many times as you want. And I'll show you what we're doing here. Just gathering up little loops. About 3 times. Cute. Okay, and then I just wrap it around a couple times. Okay. And then this is why I have a huge long thread. I'm going to hopefully have enough here. And I'm going to go through and try to pop out by the eye. See where the eye would be here. Okay. And don't pull too hard because you don't want to make that pucker. So you just go about where you think the eye should be. That's a good spot. Now we're going to do a French knot, which you just take your needle, wrap it around, say 3, 4 times, up it down, pull, snug, and then we're going to go straight over to the other side for the other eye. So just look at it, make sure you have it lined up where you want it, like that, and just pull it through, You got yourself a cute little eye there. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. 4 times. And then I'm just going to pop it through. And then as it's where you want it, you just pull. Okay. I'm going to try to go back through here. See if I can pop it right back out here. And then there you go. You got 2 little eyes. And you pop it out by the tail again. And you can just do a couple wraparounds if you want, just to secure it. And then you can do another loop, add to it, plus it gives it a knot so the eyes don't come undone. That's why it's nice to, when you do this, have a pretty long thread that you're working with. And I should have said that at the beginning, but yeah, just have it so it's long enough, and then you can just work with it and use the same one. Do this. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And then try to tie this in a knot. So however you have to tie it off. And then I'm just going to loosely tie it so I don't pull that loop. So then you got a nice little pigtail here. There we go. Triple here, because my worst nightmare is to send somebody something and then just be like, the whole thing fell apart. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I always think that. So I always double, triple, do everything here. Okay. So then we got our tail looped up. However you want it. And then we take our scissors and just go through your loop. Trim it up however you want. Kind of look at it, see if that's how you want it. Make sure everything's secure. Not going to come undone on us. And we got ourselves a cute little pig here. He just needs little ears and a star. Okay, so I'm going to grab some more thread, and I'm just using the black DMC, just embroidery thread. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and grab some more of that, and we can sew the star on. We will add on our little coffee fabric and our twine, and sew on our ears. Went ahead and just sewed the star on and just did some stitching, and then when I went out through the tail and tied the knot so there's no knot showing. Okay, and now I'm messing with the ears. For some reason the stitching's coming undone and it wants to open up, so I went ahead and just did just some stitching around it, just some hand stitching, and I think that kind of gives it a little character. So if you have to do that, just hand stitch them. I mean, they look really cute either way. And what I'm going to do now is just kind of go do a little fold. I'm going to do just a little, like I did here, just a little bit of a fold. So you can take it and just pinch it however you want, like that. I'll just go through here. It just gives it just a little character in the ear. And we'll just place it on here. is in my ear. See where you want it. Go back up through this. And just do that as many times as you want until you have it as secure as you want. There we go. So that's not going to go anywhere. And then you just go right back through it, go over to the other side where you're going to have your ear. That. Okay, and now I just take my needle. I really like just doing this and just keep adding to the tail back here. And then you can tie it off. Like that. Got our cute little pig here. Now the next thing we need to do is just go ahead. I like to add this on now before we grunge it up. So I got my glue. There. Pop that down. Just wrap this around as many times as we want. Okay. Twine. And just wrap this around. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and get my silicone mat, and we will start to do our little grunge mixture on it. So I'll be right back. And like I said, if you guys want to know the exact measurements and what's in my mixture here, just go to the end screen of the Junky Grungy Grammy series, and you guys can come check it out. It's just household items that you have around your house. And yeah, I just keep it in my fridge, and it lasts for months. So I'm just going to take this and just start painting it. And the reason I do this after I sew everything on is because it gets pretty crunchy and harder for the needle to go through. So it's nice just to do it after the fact. And I've never done this, but I've heard people say that they put like it in the oven at like 200 degrees or so and just keep watching it. And I don't know. I usually just set it overnight or set it outside in the hot sun. Like here, it's the summertime in Oregon, and I just set it out in the sun and it gets really nice and hot and turns out really cute. Okay, so I'm just grunging everything up here. Make sure to get at the end screen of a picture of it that you guys can see what it looks like all done. And once it dries, I'll go ahead and put on the blush on the little cheeks. So I just do that afterwards when it dries. And then that's the last thing. Like I said, I'll get a picture of it at the end and make sure to check it out and see how the end result turned out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informational. And if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting.